Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar also from me. I hope you had a great Easter weekend. Today, we're going to speak about how to leverage Facebook ads for travel brands and companies. I am the founder of Breathing Social Media. We're a social media agency offering social media strategy, ads management, training, as well as content marketing services. I actually have a little bit of a cough, so please excuse me if, yeah, I have to cough on the side. I have about 10 years global travel experience and 4 years in digital marketing, working with small, medium-sized businesses across the globe, all from travel and lifestyle into education, and also work with e-commerce businesses. I also run a travel blog called Breathing Travel, where I write about unique experiences all around the world and digital nomad life, as well as co-working and productivity hacks. Originally, I'm from Germany. You maybe hear a bit of a twang in my accent. That's where it's from. I'm from Germany, now a digital nomad, and I love spending my time in Southeast Asia and Australia. And right now I'm tuning in from the beautiful Gold Coast in Queensland. So in this webinar, I'll just give you a quick overview what we are going to talk about today. There's a few things I want to touch on, so this is really perfect for anyone who's interested in leveraging Facebook ads for their travel business. So we will talk about picking the right campaign objective. We will go into targeting options, how you can reach travelers. Then I will also talk about a few best practices for Facebook advertising, as well as some industry examples and helpful tools to run successful Facebook ads at the end. And I also have a little freebie for you waiting at the end of the presentation, so you can kickstart it right away. So first of all, you have probably thought about using paid advertising as you're joining me here today. If you still don't know why you should be using Facebook ads, I want to touch on a few benefits of using Facebook ads for your travel business. First of all, we all know if people spend a lot of time on social media. There's about 2 billion monthly active users on Facebook, and on average, people spend 50 minutes every single day on Facebook and Instagram, which I think is a lot of time. On top of that, there is about 87% of people who are looking at social media for travel inspiration. That is quite a big number percentage. If you've been posting content on your business pages organically, you've probably seen some engagement drops. Quite recently in January, there were some algorithm changes, some major algorithm changes, which now, well, it's been coined that Facebook zero. So really your organic reach is close to zero. And when you put a bit of budget behind your organic content, you can help reach 10 times the audience you would normally reach organically by just posting to your business page. Now, there's a crazy amount of targeting options on Facebook, and we'll go into these so you can really laser target down your ideal customers. And I think the real power of Facebook ads lies in the creation of custom audiences. We'll also touch on these. Custom audiences are based off your website visitors, for example, or your email list. So data really you already have and you can use to remarket to. Facebook ads are also very affordable, so you can reach a lot of people with a few dollars and potentially double or even triple your business growth. And it's very scalable. For example, compared to Google AdWords, you cannot predict how many people are gonna search for a certain keyword, whereas on Facebook, it is much more scalable in that sense. Ad campaigns are also highly customizable. So there's 11 different campaign objectives. We will go into those, and you can customize design, visuals, you can write your own copy, you can play around, optimize your targeting audience, your delivery options, your placements. There's really a lot of options you can play around with. And I highly recommend you do so once you dive into them. On average, there is 6 product updates every single month from Facebook, which is over 70 new improved features every year, which means the platform is changing all the time. New features are added all the time, which is amazing. For marketers, sometimes a challenge to keep up. But in general, they're all improvements and they're great. So you can really use Facebook ads on any stage in your sales funnels. So anything from awareness to the consideration stage to the conversion stage where your sales happen. The last point is something that is a new feature for Facebook, because in the past, it's been quite a challenge to target travelers effectively. But Facebook has introduced a new feature, and I will touch on that shortly, so you can actually target travelers much better. So let's dive right into it. We'll go into the perfect campaign objective and how to choose that for your campaign. So at the very start, once you go into Ads Manager, Facebook will ask you for your campaign objective. So it's very important that you pick the right objective according to your main goal. So I really strongly recommend only set one goal per campaign and don't have multiple goals. Don't try to achieve everything for one campaign. Just have one goal per campaign. You can go ahead and ask yourself, what is your main goal with the campaign? For example, you want to generate more traffic to your website. Then you will obviously choose traffic as the objective. And then please don't expect email subscribers or anything else. Your objective is traffic. Here I think it's important that your target audience may also take actions outside your set objective. So if driving traffic to your website is your campaign goal, you can definitely also generate, for example, page likes for your business page, or you can also gain newsletter subscribers when you have a website pop up, for example. So that is possible, but your main objective will be traffic, and you will measure also your traffic, how that's increased. Lastly, the objective tells the Facebook algorithm what the focus of the campaign is. Basically, what that means is when Facebook optimizes your ad, they optimize for the people who are most likely to view your website when you take the traffic objective example. If you have a conversion objective, on the other hand, Facebook is optimizing your ad to people who are most likely to leave the details for a newsletter sign up, for example. So Facebook is really working that magic, the algorithm magic, according to the very objective you pick. So be very cautious about that. I've just listed a few common objectives to use, which I use in campaigns with clients and which are very popular. Obviously, website traffic, then there's conversion, lead generation, page post engagement, and increasingly video views and dynamic product catalog ads. I'll just quickly explain what they are so you know what you're getting yourself into here. So website traffic is, as it says, it increases your traffic to your website and gets your travel experiences in front of your potential customers' eyes. Here I would recommend you deep link and not only direct people to your homepage, especially if your homepage has a lot of buttons or advertising a lot of different tours or destinations. Then I would really say, if your ad is about New Zealand, also show them a landing page or a tour page about New Zealand. Don't show them to your homepage. Just make it really, make the ad congruent to what you're going to show on a landing page. The conversion objective is very helpful if you want to increase your signups or your sales. Here it's important to note that Facebook needs at least 50 conversions per week. In the past, it's actually been 20 to 30, but now Facebook says it's 50. So if you optimize for conversions, make sure you get 50 conversions per week. If you cannot get those 50 conversions, I wouldn't say you should optimize for that. So go on a lower level. By that, I mean, maybe instead of optimizing for purchases, just optimize for add to cart, or maybe even just the sign up to a 10% discount. If you can't get those 50 conversions per week, don't optimize for them, or even use a different objective. The lead generation, with lead generation ads, you can collect user data directly on Facebook as it pre-fills information that Facebook already has from the user. Really nice and easy to use. Page post engagement is an objective I really like to use to engage people in posts. Posts or videos can be visual, of course, to get likes, shares, and comments. Under post-page engagement, you can also run page like campaigns or get responses to an event you're putting up. I really like the post-page engagement, as I said, for liking, sharing, and commenting. And this is really great if you have an awesome piece of content and you want to increase your chances of going viral or social proof that sort of post. I would definitely use the page post engagement, and this can also help you get cheaper click prices in your campaigns subsequently to that one. Excuse me. Video views are great for brand awareness. Video views are also very good to build custom audiences on a certain percentage of who has watched your video, which you can then retarget later in your funnel. So if someone has watched 5% of your video, or 20 or 75%, you can build custom audiences on those percentages that has been watched. And obviously someone who's watched 75% of your product video is more likely to engage in something further down the funnel than maybe someone who's only watched 5%. Lastly, I want to talk about dynamic product catalog ads, which are fantastic. If you have different options to of tours, different destinations, hotel rooms, for example, as they dynamically advertise different items without having you create new ads for each product manually. So this is really great if you have a big inventory, if you're a tour operator with a lot of tours, hotel or an airline, lots of destinations. I highly recommend setting up dynamic product catalog. It is a bit more complicated to set them up as compared to the other ones, but if you have a lot of inventory, it definitely pays off because you don't have to manually create new ads for each product. All right, now we want to go into targeting options. Because you've chosen your objective, Facebook will take you to the next step. On the next page, Facebook will ask you, who do you want to target now? Who's your target audience? So I want to give you some ideas about targeting travelers. Obviously, these are just four options, plus one, a new one, which is a great addition. And there's many, many more. So go figure them out. I have a great blog post on targeting travelers that way. On my blog as well, I'll tell you the website at the very end, but let's dive into interest targeting. Basically, with interest targeting, you can laser target your audience interests. For example, you could reach men between 18 and 25 who live in Brisbane and love theme parks. Incredible, right? Then you could also target by relationship status. You could reach singles looking for a hip party hostel, or you could reach honeymooners wanting to book a romantic place to stay, a romantic tour, a winery tour. You can also target special life events such as anniversaries, newly engaged. You can even set if they're engaged a month ago or 3 months ago. Really great. You can target upcoming birthdays, all of them potentially looking for a local experience or traveling away for those occasions. Then in the behavior section, there is some more targeting options. For example, business travelers who are most likely very frequently on the road. You can target leisure travelers or frequent international travelers. And here you can also target people who've just returned from a trip. This can be really powerful if you want to ask them for feedback, or you want to give them a discount for next time they book with you, something like that. Then there's obviously location targeting, and I would make use of that. You can choose the following option: people traveling in a certain location, which is very great for last minute deals. The only catch here is that you cannot specify where they are traveling from. So you basically just set the location. You get anyone traveling in Brisbane, for example. So you cannot specify where they are from. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is travel intent, because all the options lined out above are great. Obviously, but maybe they're not really actively looking to travel right now. So what about coming down to a bit more travel intent? Facebook has a really cool new options when setting up conversion campaigns. And this option is currently rolling out, so you may have it or may not have it yet, but you can find it when you set up a conversion objective, and there's a little toggle you can turn on which it says prioritize delivery to people who plan to travel. So it optimizes your ads delivery to people who have shown a general travel intent, but they have not yet expressed where they want to go. So no specific destination. Therefore, I think this is a great opportunity if you want to showcase popular destinations, maybe a seasonal thing, travel deals, could be like various types of trips, get some interest. Do they want to go hiking or to the beach or on a cruise? So I think this is a great new function to play around with. Now, some more targeting options I want you to consider, because you most likely already have a website, you already have an email list, or you build your social media following for months and years. So I highly recommend you use those audiences and take stock of audiences you already have, because mostly I use interest targeting for targeting cold audiences. And if you already have website traffic, email, or social media engagement, take stock of these things and create custom audiences, because those people are warm audiences. They're already seen your brand, they've already seen your products. Maybe they've already received an email newsletter from you, seen a social media post. So they're already warmed up audiences, which you can and definitely should leverage. And then on top of that, you can build lookalike audiences. And lookalike audiences are a really great way to reach new people who have similar attributes to the people who've already, for example, bought from you or are interested in your business. So they're really similar to your best existing customers. So I definitely recommend you build lookalike audiences as well. Now, some best practices, because I often get asked, what are the rookie mistakes to avoid when starting out with Facebook ads? Firstly, I think it's very important you map out your strategy. You think about your main goal, and you do that before you go into Ads Manager and start building any campaigns. Map it out for you. Think about how your ads align with other digital marketing activities you do in your business and how they have a place in those activities you already do. I'd like to call that the bigger picture. So really look at the bigger picture before you go into Ads Manager, before you boost a post, like how is that going to fit into your funnel overall? Then it's very important, and I see it all the time, targeting, knowing your audience well. If you don't know your audience, you got to do your research first. I can't stress that enough. Do your research first. So a really great starting tool is Audience Insights, which is a tool in Business Manager, where you can take a deep dive into various attributes of your audience. You can figure out what they're like, what they're interested in, and really like get a better picture of your ideal target person. I also regularly check the advertising policies. I put a link on the slide. You can also Google Ads policies for Facebook, because they do change all the time. I check in pretty much every week or every few weeks so I don't miss anything, because it's really bad if you do miss something and then your account gets banned because you weren't in the loop with any changes. And yeah, just make sure you check the advertising policies. Lastly, Lastly, before you start advertising with Facebook, set up your Facebook pixel. Your Facebook pixel is a little piece of code that lives on your website. It's mostly very easy to install either by yourself or by your developer, and this will help you track and measure your results. And it is really invaluable, and I highly, highly recommend, if you haven't done that yet, Facebook Pixel is the very first thing you do before anything. Install the Facebook Pixel. Now, I just wanted to show you a few examples from some bigger players in the travel industry. There is a great resource to get started with industry examples by Adespresso. I can also drop a link, or if someone's interested, they have a great library of different industries who collect Facebook ads, so you can see what sort of copy is used, what sort of call to actions, and yeah, it's a really great resource by Adespresso. I can share those links with you. So first of all, Kayak, probably everyone knows Kayak. They're doing a lot of blog posts. I see them pop up all the time for destination inspiration. And once you click learn more, you'll be redirected to a really great piece of content, which then has flight and hotel recommendations with each destination. And you can then, of course, book that through Kayak. I think that's a really great example of a top of funnel campaign, because they're really drawing the attention to an awesome piece of content, which is not necessarily related to their, you know, they're not saying book now with Kayak. It's more like intuitive, what you would see in your news feed. Very very cool piece of content that just flows. Yeah, I think it's a perfect example for a top of funnel campaign, getting a great piece of content and driving traffic to that. Then I see Tourism Fiji most recently doing a really great job with visual storytelling. I see them on my Instagram stories, in my Facebook feed, all the time actually. And once you swipe up, you'll be redirected to the homepage. I was also later, I had another video showing more travel deals. So obviously they did some retargeting there with me showing travel deals, and also had a call to action, which was book now. Finally, Agoda works with dynamic product ads. I think this is a really great example because they have a huge inventory of hotels. Obviously, they can't craft over 1.7 million ads with different hotels they have in their inventory. So dynamic product ads really help them there. Just do that. And I've recently been to San Francisco a couple of weeks ago, and I got served hotels in San Francisco. That's awesome, right? Great targeting. Now, at the end of February, I was at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. Hence, I was in San Francisco just before that. Social Media Marketing World is one of the largest social media conferences in the world. And there was a lot of chat about video, obviously live video, live streaming, and of course, Facebook ads and chat apps, chat bots. So I just wanted to bring that in here now, just because it's such a hot topic, and I think it could be used really well for the tourism industry as well. Just a generic explanation for a chatbot is a software that interacts with people in chat apps. So chatbots, I think in the tourism industry, could be used for a variety of things. For example, customer service, or nurturing your leads while you educate them on your products, on your experiences. They can also help overcome objections and remind customers about new deals, for example. And just ask yourself, how many emails do you receive per day? Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 50. Sometimes I get 100 emails. That's a lot of emails. Also, email is very often seen as business communication tool, whereas Messenger is usually where you chat with your friends or your family. So it has a completely different status in people's lives when they open a chat message compared to an email. Chat is very exciting. Chat can create a very personal and immediate experience. So there's basically no wait time. You can boost your online availability, even though you cannot answer the phone 24/7. That's amazing. A chatbot can reply and tell your opening hours. It can tell what your phone number is. And I will come into an example very shortly, which is great, I think. Now, there is some software out there already which doesn't require complicated coding. For example, ManyChat, Chatfuel, or Botify. I really love using ManyChat and can highly recommend you check it out. Now, the industry example for chatbots, I have picked Hipmunk, which is a travel search engine, and probably many of you have seen Hipmunk, sorry. And basically, when you send a message to Hipmunk, when you send a message to your Facebook page, the chatbot helps you inspire and plan your trip. It gives you very personalized travel advice. The first thing they ask me is like, oh, you're traveling soon? Where are you traveling from? So they're asking for my location, and then make it really personal to my very location, getting me deals from the next airports that are around me. And then once you find the perfect travel deal, you're redirected to their website to book. So obviously you can use chat bots organically. You can hook them up to your message function on your business page, or you can also use them with ads, and then the call to action will be send message, and people are directed into the Messenger app, which is really great. If you work with ManyChat, you basically collect user data in there in terms of they become your subscriber, but then they can also unsubscribe. So it's kind of like building a second email list. It's building a messenger list. Now, just a few tool recommendations. Canva.com, I love for ad image creation. It's super easy. And there's a lot of free layouts you can use. Pixel Helper is a Chrome extension. If you work with Google Chrome, I highly recommend you install Pixel Helper so you can check if your Facebook pixel is working and tracking correctly. Then I've mentioned Audience Insights, which is a Facebook tool. You find it in Business Manager, where you can really dive into your audience attributes, things they like, and really valuable to find out who your audience is and get to know them better. Then ManyChat for Messenger bot integration. And lastly, I like using Thrive landing pages to build easy, simple landing pages. Very effective. There's a lot of templates. Alternatively, there's ClickFunnels I also like using, and Lead Pages. Now, I hope you learned something from this webinar. I hope you got some inspiration how to pick your perfect objective, and then also targeting options, as well as some examples. You can check out my website, find me on briefingsocialmedia.com. I write a blog on there as well, where I obviously write about social media, and then my travel blog, briefingtravel.com. Feel free to reach out via email if you have any questions. Right now, I also offer 30-minute strategy calls. That's during April. So if you want to, or if you're considering running Facebook ads and you need some support, I'm here to help. Just shoot me an email. Find me on Instagram, connect with me on LinkedIn. And then I also have a free ads checklist, which you can check out. bit.ly/ads-checklist. And yeah, I look forward to chatting with you about Facebook ads. And I think now I'm open to questions. If you have any, please go ahead.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Carolyn. So we will open it up for questions now. So if you have a question you'd like to ask, simply just click on the participants button at the bottom of your screen, and then click to raise your hand. Then I can unmute you and you can ask Carolyn your questions.
Let's see if someone wants to ask, or if someone has a more general questions, but more specific question. I'm open to any of those. Or if you want to send me an email subsequently to that, feel free. It's really great. I connected with a few people ahead of time. Maybe someone's actually on this webinar listening, asking some questions how to target people, which was really great. So yeah, please go ahead, ask your questions.
Hi, Carolyn. Ian here. Thanks so much for the presentation. I found that really interesting.
Sure.
I've got a question for you about images, because obviously Facebook is a very visual platform.
Definitely.
Wondering what, and I'll just close my window here because I'm in a noisy part of Sydney. The question I have about images is, do you have any sort of examples or research on what kinds of images people are more likely to click on? Because obviously, you know, if you have a picture of, say, a person looking happy, I'm looking at your slide here, and you've got a picture of you at having a hamburger. I mean, a picture of a person or a picture of, say, a thing like an object. Do you have anything, any examples of the conversion rate of using images, kinds of images?
Yeah, sure. I think the general thing I'm seeing is definitely no stock images if you can, taken by yourself. If you have the resources to create your own content, I think that's the best thing to do. Also, it comes down to testing. Really, there is no general this works, this doesn't work. It's just my general thing I see is more natural, authentic, you know, things that flow in the feed, things you normally see obviously on Instagram. It's a lot more polished, I guess, compared to a Facebook feed. So really maybe even split test them apart, test on Facebook something different than you would on Instagram. There, I mentioned the Ad Espresso library. So you can get some inspiration there. You can go and have a look in the travel section, and you will see a lot of travel ads pop up. I'm also in the process of collecting ads I see on my feed all the time. I screenshot them, I put them together. I'm in the process of doing that right now. Just like some really great, pretty much the best images I feel, where you also see a lot of social proof on. So I'm in the process of putting them together, and I'll probably send them over my email newsletter in the next month or so. Yeah, does it help at all?
No, thanks for that. I mean, I think I've always found that images that kind of get people's attention, I mean, it's sort of an obvious thing, are more likely to be clicked on, you know, than, say, a picture of like your company logo or something.
Definitely, yes, of course. If you can, you know, show. What do you do? What sort of company are you on?
Travel Massive.
Okay, sure, yeah. Oh, Ian, yeah, of course. Yeah, so definitely, you know, when you say people, I would definitely go and, I mean, it's a community, right? You're showing community, yeah. It'll definitely be people that you're showing, I think.
Okay, great. Thanks, Carolyn. I think that looks probably like all the questions we have today. It's a pretty quiet bunch at the moment. I guess it's probably morning for most of us. So thanks so much for joining, everybody. If you do have any extra questions, feel free to just email myself or Carolyn. You can see our email address there. And of course, don't forget to sign up for our next events, and see you next time.
Yeah, great. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.